Yeah. I was riding around in the V12 with the racks in the middle. Had to pray to Almighty God, they let my dog out the kennel. When you get it straight up by the mud, you can't imagine this shit. I've been pulling up in the drop tops with the baddest bitches. Young nigga been focused on my check.
Hey, this is Love Amplified. This is Deidre co-host. We have Jackie from Ladies Night Radio Show, co-host in the building. We have Detroit, Charles Handy. We have a few people coming on the way, Tommy and Allie. So we just want to kick it off. Love Amplified is the intellectual stimulation for your mind, body, and soul. It's now time to increase the intensity and dive deeper into meaningful dialogue regarding love experience. So we want you guys to tune in now. Check us out on Instagram at Love Amplified Podcast. Scroll over to Facebook. It's the Love Amplified Podcast. Twitter at Amplified The. It sounds a little off, but you got to get it right. All right. And if you got Skype, call us in right now. You could chat in live at 323-900-0478. Again, that's 323-900-0478. Yeah, we're ready to hear from everybody. There's a lot going on in the community. There's a lot going on in love. There's a lot going on in life. So let's get into it.
Yo. And so, this is Doncho Detroit on the mic, and it's glad to be back in the building today. But today is March 31st, and I know we all have heavy hearts because of the horrible news that's happened with Nipsey. You know, rest in peace, young man. A very thoughtful, intellectual, profound, humbled, experienced. You know, teaching. You know, black man. You know, hard-working black man that. For me, seemed like he was just the complete opposite of what most people are, and he was trying to instill that in people. Like, he was trying to get rid of the crabs at the bottom of the barrel mentality. Yeah. And they say life is cyclical and it's crazy, but it just reminds me of the morning I woke up and you find out that Tupac is dead. You know, shot and killed, and so completely unnecessary. You know, we was talking about synonyms for petty the other day, and unnecessary word, and that's all I could just think about right now. It's like unnecessary, you know. So, you know, give me your thoughts real quick before we get into what's going on, DG.
It just heavy. We got somebody's phone going off, but it's just like there's the ring, there's the call. But I'm heavy right now. It's just one of those things where, you know, it calls you to stop and to like reflect. You know, I was just actually sitting in the car before I came into the studio, just listening to a few of his tracks, and I'm just like, man, like you just never think like that would be the day. This will be the day. You know,
I woke up this morning, I didn't know.
Really, you know, I'm just a little heavy. I usually have a million words, and you know how I'm feeling, but it's just like, wow, why? You know, so gifted, and I was even looking into, you know, the documentary that he was working on with. Right. I just feel like it's
always something.
It's always something, right? It's like you taking 10 steps forward and then, So I understand those that were close to him, you know, fans, and you know, he was just that beacon, that artist, that voice, you know. I just, for everybody that's out there, I mean, it's definitely heavy.
So I think Charles is about ready, and I know he got something to say about it. Who dropped a nice photo, which is cool because you actually met the man. I've never met the man, so
I haven't met him either.
Speak your piece.
Hey, well, R.I.P. to Nipsey Hussle and to his family. My condolences. I actually went there and I filmed for Live by Live, this company I've been working with. I went there and filmed like some people's just reactions to the loss of Nipsey Hussle, and people were very emotional out there. Like a couple people crying, right there on the street. So you know, it's a huge loss. I live in the community, and he was a staple of the community, a real great example to me of somebody who was talking about the right stuff, talking about buying real estate, and somebody who was making a difference. I was fortunate enough to be able to interview him, and on his Sprinter after a show at Rolling Loud, and it was like, so I was very like conflicted. I was like, should I go there to the site? Should I film him? And today, and the reason I decided to film, because I sat in my car and I got out my camera and I started putting together my camera, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna go there. And I felt like it was almost like ambulance chasing or whatever. And I don't like that, you know what I'm saying? That's not my thing. But, you know, I actually got reminded that I actually had done that before. So when I worked at Evoke, I seen him, because he'll be in the community all the time, but not like I wouldn't see him all the time. So I seen him filming a music video. He was going around different spots in like the Slauson Crenshaw area. And so I was like, oh, that's crazy. Like I could go grab my camera and with my Revolt mic, because then he just did like a bunch of stuff for Revolt. So I got through that process, put my mic together, because I wanted to go be ready. You know, I wanted to be ready so when I seen him that he would see that I'm got my camera and I'm here for an interview to see if he could give me some kind of thing. So going through that process again to film him, or film his store, film his stuff while he was passed or deceased, it was like a surreal kind of feeling, I guess. It was more like, wow, like, you know, I went through the same process on the same street a couple of months ago while he was alive, right. And now I'm doing it to go while he's passed away at his store. And I don't know.
That place has just always been dangerous. It's awful. And
yeah, but it's been changing a lot. And this particular situation, we'll see how it unfolds. But there's not a lot of people who could just be around him that are threats to his life. Right. So it's
personal.
And he has his wife, his child.
It's definitely personal.
So much.
And watching the video, they had a 16-second video posted on YouTube of them trying to give him CPR and watching him.
That's a lot.
Lifeless, you know. And because at first it's like, you know, everything you read was just like, all right, well, hope he pulls through. Hope he pulls through. And so you just like hoping against hope. I mean, just this morning, you know, one of our pastors' son got shot in the head, but he's in a coma. I mean, he just came out of a coma. Oh my God. Yeah, he just came out of a coma, so he's living. So it's like when they say, "Oh, he got shot in the head," it was like, wait, because I think like way earlier or whatever, whenever it happened, somebody posted RIP. Yeah, but it was like random.
Like, wait a minute, you're still like, holding on. Like, wait a minute, he gonna pull through.
But it wasn't. It wasn't a whole bunch of. I kept looking through everybody's feed. Wasn't nothing up. It was only one post I saw, and it wasn't a picture of him. It just said RIP Nip, and I'm like. That's
crazy. That's what caught me, and I said, "Wait a minute, what's going on? Am I a little late?"
But when I saw it wasn't nothing, so now I'm googling, and then it was like, oh, if the rumors are true, but then it said TMZ, and I'm like, I know TMZ don't put out rumors. You know what I'm saying? Gosh. So I'm like, crap, but everything was pulled through, and then I saw the video where it was like, were you holding out hope, and then they trying to give him CPR, and they looking to see if the bullets went through, and it's just
I didn't see that.
They moved them, and you can just tell like they had to move every part of them because there was like no life in him. It wasn't like he was 8, and I was like, oh my God. And then maybe 20 minutes later, I saw it on NBC News. You know what I'm saying?
Man. So you could just have a moment of silence.
Yeah, I brought some wine, so we could we could just kind of address, you know, just get some wine and just get some vibes. I was actually gonna bring it to the karaoke the other night, last night. So my bad.
No worries.
Karaoke.
You were missed, though. You were missed.
Yeah, I was
part of the ladies' night.
No, it was a good news karaoke night.
Oh, night. Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
It was, I think you guys were told last minute.
Okay.
But
last minute.
It was like within that week, yeah. Okay. And so
I'm cracking this open.
But we're going to have more events for the good news. So that's the whole thing. It was a team builder. Okay. That's what it was.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay.
Unless you sing, I know Akila sings. unless you
I
sing.
sang a little something. I got
Do
some
you?
harmonies,
We probably would have lost. I saw the competition.
Oh, so you guys do a whole competition?
Well, the ones that won was the Get Right. Shout out to the Get Right. They had a whole performance. I have to show you. They all wore matching outfits.
Wow.
They had a dance routine.
Yeah.
They took it back to like early 2000 with the boy band group.
So you just saying we got to come with it?
Well, apparently we all have to come with it because none of us were ready for their level. Like the Get Right took it. We all took a big L and we're okay with that. They deserved it.
The title already says that Get Right. Like you better come with
Yeah.
it and get it right.
I'm with that. So,
Wow.
so on a lighter note, we're today we are talking about whether or not it is okay for a woman to propose to a man.
Whew. So I'm just going to start and say I absolutely feel some type of way about that.
Really?
And, it's like one of those things. Look, we in 2019, I see it from so many different levels of gender roles changing and this and that. I'm like, but is it really? You know what I mean? I'm just going to put it out there. Look,
before you do that.
Look.
All right, let's let them think about an answer because we got to do.
We're gonna simmer.
We got to do this. Our anniversaries. All right, so
Ooh.
let's run it back to our man.
I was ready.
The hustle man, Charles Handy. Do what you do. What you got for us today?
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Hit it.
Happy anniversary. Happy anniversary. Happy anniversary.
All right. Cut it. All right. So today I want to just cheers. Deidre, you over here sipping, but I got my Black Lives Matter shirt on. Just salute. Cheers. It's so it's March 31st, and today, ironically, I looked up when I was looking up for this segment for Happy Anniversary. I realized that Selena, the singer, had been killed on this day, March 31st, by her manager.
Wow.
And so I looked that up, and then shortly after, I hear the helicopters and everything for Nipsey Hussle. And I just want to say, on a somber note, Nipsey passed today. Also, R.I.P. to Selena.
Yeah.
Great people, great artists, young artists that are, transcendent, and they just were slain in a random act of gun violence, both on today. So
yeah,
that's the anniversary. It's not necessarily happy. I do also want to shout out one of this for the happy side of the anniversary is Kamaria. Our very own Kamaria. It's her actual anniversary.
Yeah.
Oh, you was at my wedding too. What you just a wedding crasher?
You know what? I need to listen. Hopefully the next one within a year, y'all can be coming to mine. Okay.
Hey.
Yeah, it was such a
soon
beautiful
you forget,
thing.
I'm be stalking your wedding. Be like, oh, be like us. I'm be like us. We're gonna be like us standing outside your wedding.
Listen, show up. Yeah, I mean, like you said, on a lighter note, it was definitely a beautiful, and like you said, it comes back down to the community because we're both from the Bay Area, so it's just like
Oakland.
We
Skyline.
grow up. You grow up with people, high school, college, and just to see like life is happening. You get to see the different stages and the beauty of where it's taking everyone. I would say that. So yes, definitely shout out to all the anniversaries, even the ones that are very somber.
So before we hop into this, Tommy, my man, you in the building?
Tommy,
Yeah.
how you doing?
I actually got caught up in traffic in the whole.
That's all good. It's LA.
They blocked off everything. I was there because my family's barbecue spot is right next to. Yeah.
Oh,
wow.
So I was actually there.
Yeah.
And they blocked off everything.
Wow.
And
Were you there when the shots rang out too?
No, thank God I wasn't there for that. But I was actually like, when the news broke, I was there, but I didn't know.
Right there.
Yeah, like gunshots are like doorbells. Like,
Right. Yeah. No, I hear you.
You don't know.
Crazy?
Yeah.
You don't know, and for it to be, that.
Somebody so prominent.
And and it's just unfortunate. I was actually the first artist that allowed me to take pictures of him.
Wow.
Yeah, gave me his number. He didn't even say DM me. He just gave me his number. And was like, here's my number. And send them to me. So it's just crazy. Only 33 years old.
Only 33. So it's
real
so
name.
young.
33.
Is it true that they shot him while he was taking a picture with a kid?
I hope not.
I
I
don't
don't even
know.
have those.
Because
There's gonna be a lot of stuff.
Well, because it
right?
it clearly shows where he squatted down to take a
Yeah.
picture with this. I think it was a little boy. I can't remember. And then that's exact spot where it's exact
By the
clothing right by the car, by the front of it. So they said it's like right after he took the picture, they shot him 6 times and 1 in the head. And that's.
Was it a drive-by though?
I don't know if it was a
believe
drive-by.
so.
I don't think so.
It was 3 people that got hit. He was just the one. If you get shot 6 times,
It was the target.
Yeah, had to be. I don't think it was a drive. Not 6 times.
Six times.
So
It was 6 times.
So it was in fact personal. Then. Like,
Yeah,
we know.
it had to be. If somebody shoots you 6 times,
I know you got
That's a tough-
security.
Yeah.
You got security. Some sort.
Well, the thing about Nipsey and the thing about how it is, because my family owns that barbecue spot right there, it's just that's his neighborhood. Like, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? So he never, it's like one of those things, like, I'm at home. This is
Yeah.
home. You know what I mean? He
That's
never,
what makes it even worse.
he was able to go anywhere and you're good. Like, I never seen Nipsey also with, like, no real bodyguards like that. I've been in a studio session with him. He's just a normal person like me and you because he grew up on these streets.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He didn't really become real famous until the age of about, I would say, like 26 maybe. You know what I mean? Where he became like,
if
really,
not later. Than that.
if not later than that, it was probably like late 20s, early 30s. So like 28 maybe. So, and
Yeah, I'm 34. So I say about 30.
I think
Sounds
it's
like
just
to be home.
right.
It's still like
I just think it's just sad because you struggled your whole life.
Right.
And this is
Till-
like when he's really like,
right till
yeah.
now you're at the height of your career, the most money you ever made,
Right.
and this what happens. Like
Right.
like this didn't happen when you were actually, you
On
know
the
what I mean,
grind,
you're on the
in the
grind,
streets.
exactly, really doing your thing,
doing stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, it actually makes me it reminds me of Dobie. It was this artist named Dobie, and I think he was from Alabama. Young cat. He was with an artist that that T.I. He was coming up on the Grand Hustle, and he was probably like he was in his early 20s, and he was like coming up. And we had started covering him a lot for Revolt, so we were covering him a lot. And excuse me, he goes back to his hometown, and he does like a show at this club, and he and the guy rushes the stage and shoots him and shoots a girl or whatever. We do this whole story about it, and it's just like I always think about people, these stars that. You know, Lil Boosie talks about it too, about how, you know, should you go back home as an artist, or you always get it the worst when you go home. And then I think about like, you know, like for even me, like there's certain times like I'm from Oakland, I'm from East Oakland, but do I just be chilling? And where I'm from in East Oakland, no, I'll be like, I'm in LA, you know? Yeah. And that keeps me out of a lot of like, it's like I put on for my city. I always say that, you know, but it's like Drake, like hardly home, but always repping.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Meaning like, I'm always rep, but at the same time, I got to show y'all that I'm international. You know what I'm saying? I got to show y'all that I made it out. You know what I'm saying? And it's like it's always that kind of thing where it's like I want to be around y'all. I want to show y'all love. I love my family. I love people on my streets, but it's like, do I? You know what I'm saying?
It's
Do
like
I
you
just?
gotta guard yourself at the same token, because
definitely.
I have that a lot too, and it's almost like for me, like even tapping into like the arts and reaching back. It's like to what degree and what level, you know what I mean? And it's a tough one.
And just last thing, my sister today. This is my sister, and I know where she was coming from. And she said this on Facebook, so I took a picture at Sweetie's listening party, which, you know, he told me about last night, Tommy. That's why blame Tommy why I didn't make it to the karaoke thing. I'm just joking. No, I was debating the two, which one I was going to do. I was like, man, I got a network, got to do my business thing, my 1-2 for that. But it's all business. But so last night I took pictures. It was Quavo, Sweetie, the album release party, whatever. And then she says on my Facebook, she's like, oh my God, I'm so happy for you, but I'm also super jealous, right? And you know, obviously it's my sister, so she feels like a certain way, and just like, oh, I wish I was there kind of thing. But it's like that FOMO thing and jealousy and things, and jealousy brings hate or breeds hate or envy, all that stuff. And so it's one of those things where you're like, yeah, I am promoting that I'm doing things in the industry, I'm lit, I'm in the mix or whatever, all that stuff, but that's my sister that is able to say that. Imagine like people who aren't that are like really feeling like tight about, you know what I'm saying? That's like I really feel a certain way.
People are always lurking. People are always watching you.
Oh,
you know, you
somebody's always
never
watching you.
know who's really watching you. And on the low, they like, yeah, you know, I'm riding with you. But at the same time, they like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just like, hey, like, you know, so...
facts.
Yeah, honestly,
and that's the weird part.
It is
because
weird.
it's like you,
but real.
Are you so?
Right.
Is it because of like why is it like if I see Deidre right and you're say you're in the next I know we went to school together. If you become
I shall
all right, you become the next Michelle Obama, right?
Right.
So all right, so because of that, am I gonna be like, yeah, I knew Deidre when she was fucking ain't shit. I don't know. Like, why is it because?
Why can't we celebrate?
But I'm saying, what I'm saying is it because I know you? That's why I feel some like, oh, you should have took me with you, or is it like what it is? You get what I'm saying? Like, if it was just so Michelle Obama's Michelle Obama, Beyonce's Beyonce. We don't know her. We don't know them. But what if we knew them?
And you have a connect,
And
even
if
it's not
connection.
directly. It's like I was around this person, and you know what?
And then you like now I feel like I'm gonna show up at your book signing and be like,
and
oh,
you should
so
know
can't,
me.
You can't return my call. You know?
No, I think it's just like for me. I think it was like my uncle told me. He was like, it's like one of those things where people get mad when you come back to the hood. Like, what are you doing back here pulling up in whatever Mercedes Benz or you know what I mean, whatever car you got? It's almost like you're showing off. You know what I mean? And it's almost like, you know what I mean? You know that we stuck here, even though you made it out, which is good. But you keep coming around here, like toying these things around. You get
That's
what I mean?
crazy. My dad actually said the same thing to my sister. So my sister was she's worked really hard. She became a teacher, a dean at a young age, and a principal at a young age.
Wow.
So she was a principal in one of the elementaries in South LA. And she's been driving her Honda Civic for years, and it was good, it was fine, but it was like a Honda Civic, right? But she could afford a new car, and she was in the market for a new car, and she was looking, and my dad was like, you should just get another Honda, and she's like, but I kind of want to treat myself. I've worked so hard. I got my master's. I did this. Like I want to treat myself, and then he was like, all right, well, what are you thinking? And she was like, she had a friend that worked for Lexus. She's like, I think I want to get a Lexus, and my dad told him the same thing that his dad said, as far as like, you're going to go to this school in South LA with your Lexus, and like that's not going to make you look good. Like they're not going to. It's kind of like what I said, like you're gloating. It's like kind of like dim your light,
right?
And it's kind of like, well, then me.
I had somebody tell me that,
and then me, I was like, but Dad, like why can't you show it in a way where it's like this is what you can do,
right?
Like you can work your way up and get this.
Exactly, you worked hard for it.
So it just depends, but I understand what the saying.
It's
like
a cultural thing.
It is,
and it has to stop. Like I feel like at the end of the day, if you're working hard, you should be able to say, I want this, I want that. And it's not to want to show off. Maybe some people do have that, ulterior motive. But it's just like, if I'm coming back, it's like, hey, you could do this too. I was right there on that porch with you. We were right there talking about the same thing. Yeah. But I decided to, you know what I mean? And it's like, for me, it's just like, how many can I pull where I'm at? If you're really ready and you're really ready to put in the work, let's go. Right.
I don't even think. So. I don't even think it's about pulling anybody, because even if you pull that same person, they're going to be jealous of you because they still don't have
throughout the whole
thing. They want your spot. It's like one of those things where you can't promote. Okay, you can't fire your assistant, then demote her down to another position. No, because she wants that spot. Yeah, she's no longer. You know what I mean? Once you give that person that taste, they want to be where you're.
If they're exposed to it,
exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Exposure is like
exposure is the worst. That's what I mean by like pulling like. And I think sometime, and it's not for all, but people haven't been exposed to more. So it's like all they know is like the block. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So like I'm just speaking from my home, like Oakland. Certain people are just like, this is what I know, and it's just like, yeah, you might be called to the city, or this person may be called to a whole nother thing. So it's just like still walking your path, still walking your truth. But yet, I don't know. I just feel like you have to always be guarded to a certain degree. You know what I mean? And you got to use discernment. Because I've had, and it's sad, but I've had a friend that quote unquote was an ex-best friend. Like when I say we grew up together, I think things didn't hit the fan until I stepped out after college and I came to LA, and it was just like this whole fallout. Like, wow, all this time, and it's true. Like I didn't know you were jealous of me, and it turned to almost a standoff. I flew home, and like we were in the middle of the parking lot getting ready to squat. Like I'm grown. Yeah. Like really, like this is a real story, and it's just like. We had the same friends, and just like, wow, you were secretly all this time. I called you my sister. You were like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's real. It's real. And I think, like you say, once you start seeing yourself build and grow, it just like those things are exposed. Those things for the better.
Changes.
I mean, yeah, you're gonna change. You're supposed to grow.
You change.
Shut up.
But the tire bowl and everything. That's exactly that was the beautiful thing about Nip. And you know what I'm saying? He was trying to promote. It doesn't have to just be me. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
exactly.
You know, in your own way, do you.
Yeah.
Hard work pays off.
Yeah.
Could I
Come
do
beat me.
And if I see
Can I
it, and
do
if
one
I
of his
could
quotes?
sew into it,
Yeah,
I'm gonna do it. You know, whether it's a word or, you know,
I
okay,
got
so
some
this is what
red
we
wine.
doing?
I'm gonna do a cheers. We're gonna put a button on this combo, and I'm
Yeah,
gonna do
we
a
gonna
cheers
move-
with
we
one of his
gonna segue
quotes.
into
I'm gonna do
our
a cheers with
juicy topic
one
for
of his
tonight.
quotes. All right, so this is one of his quotes. Like salute.
Yeah.
Salute.
We're gonna say new Nipsey Hussle. Look, DJ,
Check
you
me
drinking?
out.
He not.
I was looking at it.
Check me out.
Look,
So
no,
he's
check
trying
me
to
out.
call
look.
me out.
Check
New
me out.
Nipsey Hussle.
To Nipsey.
Pay us now or pay us double.
That's
Yes,
right.
I
And the
received
marathon
that.
continues.
Amen.
So,
The
yeah.
marathon continues.
You about to
That
sell
was the
out,
main
promise.
thing.
Yeah.
So we ain't finna, you know what I mean? Just continue. Just keep going.
Keep
Yeah,
going.
man.
It's like, I hope that store is back open because a lot of people don't know that. I remember Nipsey when he was selling them CDs outside that parking lot. He didn't even own that building. He didn't even own it. He owns that whole building.
I got stuck over
Yeah.
there the other
That
day.
complex
looking
or
for
that-
taxes.
He owns that whole complex, that little area. He
This-
owns the whole
this
thing.
complex.
I was over there looking
Wow.
for taxes the other day.
Uh-huh.
It got stuck in that complex. I'm like, damn, I didn't know the store was right here.
Right.
Then I was like, let me get the up out of here because of where I am. You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
So, but the store was right here.
Right.
Dang, like this is close. My son
Wow.
is at school right down the street.
Right.
So I know what you're talking about.
And it's crazy because like I'm gonna just tell you the biggest influence he had. Me and my aunt got into this major argument. She's mad at me because I got on red shorts, which is a Crip neighborhood. But she don't know Nipsey Hussle made it a point where you can wear each color because that's what he did when he came out. He broke the color barrier. He came out wearing nothing but red.
Oh, yeah.
Even though he's a Crip, he did it on purpose so people like myself, that the next generation younger than him, that can go out in red.
That's
be
why we ain't
out
tripping
there.
no more. Because
And like
YG in the studio,
Wow.
exactly.
he
It's
kicking it
all
with
up.
A-Trays. They singing his music.
Mhm.
Once A-Trays singing his music, oh well, ain't
You
nobody
good.
got ain't nobody
You good.
nothing else to
That's
say.
And that's what
this
Nipsey.
LA
That's what
combo.
Nipsey says.
It is. I'm like,
This Super
Yeah.
LA. Y'all lost me a long
you
time
see me,
ago.
Charles? I'm like,
Okay.
Yeah, and that's the beautiful thing. 'Cause I'll never forget. My grandmother lived on 83rd and Van Ness, which is in Inglewood. And Nipsey got a song. I got the niggas on 83rd feeling, you know what I mean, feeling
Right.
the 60s.
And
I got mad at
that's
her, like, what
treat-
are these niggas
but-
talking about? But I was like, you right,
But that's
though.
my
Like,
point. That's-
you made it.
That's
You
true.
made it.
To make it simple, that's like a Boston Celtic fan and a Laker kicking it.
Right.
You know what I'm
Wow.
saying? Like, but they wearing each other's jersey. You Lakers wear the
Respect.
thank you
same
for
jersey.
bringing that home. Now I
You know
get,
what I'm
but
saying?
I
Right.
understand because it's a different world. I'm
Yeah.
not
You're from the
really-
Bay.
Yeah,
So
Yeah.
it's like you
we
like
don't have a
get it.
lot of
Yeah, we
the,
get it.
you know, but I get it.
Nigga,
Yeah.
no.
It's just crazy the impact he had where
Territory.
I can wear these
Yeah.
shorts in the middle of a Crip neighborhood.
And
My
it's-
aunt, she's in her 50s, so she
Wow.
she comes
She
from
like
that.
old school,
Yeah,
yeah.
she's straight old school. She's like, got the wrong
Like,
shorts.
she went
I gotta
through the
walk into your
90s.
car.
Yeah,
she
she went
don't
through the
know.
90s.
Like, I'm good. Like, I'm good. He made it to a point where I'm okay because he broke the color barrier.
Right.
You know what I mean? He broke that.
So let's talk about something else that's okay.
Yeah.
A woman proposing to her man.
Listen.
That's out.
Deidre.
Remix there.
Yeah,
Glitchy remix.
Sorry
And
about that. I
we
don't know what
are
was glitchy.
back. So
Let's talk about it.
it's let's
Because I've been reading about it all day. So
You
let's
know,
talk about
you
it.
have. Oh, so you got some context. Okay. I think for me, it's so funny because people always send me videos, Instagram. You sent the video, and I'm just like, oh, here we go. And my first thought to this is just like, yeah, to each his own. But for me, this is just my spiel. I would love to hear if anybody has anything they want to send on Instagram, Twitter, whatever. Chime in, please do. But it's just like one of those things where.
and Akila chime in.
Akila,
I know-
yeah,
I know
chime
you
in.
listening.
I'm when they say old school with it, it's just like to me, even when it comes back to my faith, it's just I was just brought up on that a man that findeth a wife findeth a good thing and obtains favor for the Lord. So it's like, yeah, it's different when we grown. Everybody looking at me like, but it's like, you like what you like, and if it flows, it flows. But I personally feel like this as a woman. Allow a man, that's instinctual. If a man really wants you, he's going to come for you. You know what I mean? He's going to pursue you. And it will be kind of a thing where, yes, if you're pursuing me, I'm going to, okay, you know what, Detroit, don't, he over here laughing before I get my thought out. But my first thoughts, because I want to get into the context and hear everybody else's voice, because I do have a little bit of context as well. But my vote is nah.
Well, you got your sidekick right next to you. So.
I'm not proposing to no man.
I feel
But is it okay?
Shouldn't have to.
But is it okay? See, that's the thing.
Hold that thought. Tommy.
Yeah, I'm gonna come back to that.
If a woman proposed to me, it's a hell no.
Oh, wow.
Come on, Tommy.
And I'm gonna tell you
You
why.
see this
though.
generational thing, but okay.
I'm gonna tell you why. I don't even like when a woman chases me.
Ooh.
I gotta come after you. Like it just.
Yeah.
I just gotta have that. You know, you gotta make me want you. You gotta make me. Because once I feel like I already have you, I don't want you anymore. It's like my very first time. I'm gonna tell you why it sucked. Because she gave it up on the first day. I didn't even know who she was. Gave it up. It was my first time.
Oh, wow.
And like I always wanted to be my first time with a girl I actually liked and fall in love, like the wood.
So
or
you
love
understand
basketball.
the process,
right?
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Let me take you on a date.
Let me court you.
Let me let me buy you some flowers.
You know, I think Tommy went home and ran with the thing.
You know what?
That I'm a promote the Tommies of the world.
Here for it. You know what? I'm on that campaign because Tommy is on it.
Where are the
He's
Tommies
on
of the
it.
world?
Listen, the Tommies are out.
They
now.
got this thing where are the Tommies of the world? They looking for the grown men Tommy because he's a little younger.
But you don't listen, and yeah, like that woman, my God, and I wonder, like, yeah, I'm gonna hold that thought. But let's come over here.
Hustle man.
Come on.
Wait, first of all, how old are you?
How old do you think I'm?
Like 19.
Really?
Oh.
Wow. Thank you. I appreciate
He's
it.
a little older than
I
that.
appreciate it. Sometimes I get 17. That's the lowest I ever got. But I'm 26.
Okay.
It's like, can I get over 21?
It could be the braces,
But
maybe, or
but
just
he's
like the
still-
smile.
Yeah, he's still
a very
petty though.
innocent face.
He's still petty.
Petty.
King Petty.
He's King Petty. No, he'll tell you. He ain't lying. This is
But
not something
you
I
put
was
on
showing
it.
I haven't matured yet.
Right.
Now.
Okay.
I'm not there yet.
It takes longer
But
for
that
guys.
response was very mature, and I received that. So we rocking. We got 1 for 1. Come on.
I would say, yeah. I'm always a person like if you like it, I love it. I would say that if you want to propose, I think it's not a bad thing. Ironically,
A woman proposing. Just so we're clear.
Ironically, I was watching This Is Us, and I really don't watch that show. I know it's a big show, but I was watching This Is Us, and then this last episode was so the black dad, and the
spoil it for me. I'm listening.
So I guess it's a point of the thing.
Well, don't spoil it for her.
It's not a super spoiler, but
okay, good.
the black dad and they go back in time anyway. So you know how they do flashbacks.
Yeah.
So the black dad and the wife, they he was like pursuing her really hard. He like would propose to her like constantly. So he proposed to her like a gang of times, and she refused. But eventually she got ready, and she was like, "All right, come on, do it." Ask me to do the proposal to me now or whatever, right? And he was like, "Oh, really?" or whatever. Excuse me. So I thought that was technically like her proposing to him. You know what I'm saying? Because she told him to ask her to propose to him. So it was just an interesting dynamic, kind of role reversal thing. Because the reality is that. Like she, you could say like, oh well, I'm only gonna like a man has to propose to a woman, or just like the Bible say like when a man finds a wife, he finds a good thing, and I do believe in the dynamics like of a man pursuing a woman, but at the same time I feel like there's a lot of dynamics of like. There's dynamics, and then there's like kind of realities, and then there's a lot of realities is more so like of like women are either given a lot of hard like ultimatums that end up getting like you see the proposal, but you don't necessarily see like, all right, get out of my house unless you you know what I'm saying, unless you get what I'm saying, or you see one
you
side
ain't getting
of it.
none unless there's a ring on the finger.
Yeah, no,
See,
there's different. There's a lot of that.
I'm a bend your arm. See, that's another
But
thing.
that's
a lot of women
what I'm saying. That's the reality
that
though.
do that. But I also I hear that. But it's like at the same time, for a woman, I just feel like for a woman to stoop that low, to have to twist your arm.
That's not stooping though.
Then it's like
that's how you're portraying it.
I think women get emotionally attached before we do. So they got to assure that we want them. That's why we propose. That's just mine.
I'm gonna say,
I think it's both ways. I think a lot of men fall.
Can I just make this last point? I would just say that there's women who we all know, not saying beautiful, not saying affluent,
they
whatever.
have a certain standard.
No,
I'm
just saying there's women there's women wherever they land on the totem pole or whatever in life. There's women who are with their mate and their mate chooses to marry them for whatever reason, right? And there's women who get married, and then there's also women who never get married.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And they have great relationships for whatever reason. They're not able to get to that level of relationship. You know what I'm saying? Why is that? I don't know. But so for me personally, I always like applaud like a woman. Like for me, and not say apply, but like what I want to say is like if you're able to get, if
you're married. Let me hear your experience.
If you're able to get a man to say, "Hey, I want to marry you. I want to spend my life with you. Will you marry me?" Or however that dynamic works, and they go to the next level of matrimony and all that stuff. That's a win. That's a win.
No
you know what I'm saying?
No matter how you get there.
And then, like you said, it doesn't matter how you get there. But I just think, like you said, coming back to courting, like really taking, and who knows, time is like, it's to each his own. It could be 5 months, it could be 5 weeks, it could be whatever, and a lot of people get married quick because they know. Right. It's like, oh, I know this person, this is my person, whether it's down to the morals or whatever they have, that it just lines up, and it's just like, okay, we know what it is, and they're already on the same accord. You know what I mean? I guess, like I said, everybody's brought up different. You know what I mean? And a lot of women may have not had that example, and I think it goes two ways, and I think it comes back down to a woman knowing herself and what she wants, you know what I mean, and what she's seen as this is right for me. You know what I mean? Maybe they didn't have that example like, oh, I was never told that a man should, propose, or I should wait on a man to propose. If we're in love, I'm just going to, pop the question. And then I heard a question somebody asked, they're like, well, what if the man is not ready? What do you do then? Because 9 times out of 10, if a man has not proposed or popped the question to you, they may very well be not ready financially, just in their mind. They
you're
have
never
to take
ready
on.
Financially.
Yeah, you're never ready. But I'm just saying, like,
always more
what
money
do you
to
do?
make.
What'd you say?
There's always more money.
Yeah, it's always something. So, but it's like when they say, oh, men, they come around a little different than women, and sometimes I think men do fall a little faster than women.
And babies come around and
all
then
that,
they be like, oh, well,
so
the baby
you can prevent that.
The baby could have, but
I'm
saying the baby accelerate.
I did 26 years pretty
the
good.
baby. Well, I wouldn't say you
and
was
people do
doing
get married for the
26 years.
wrong things too. It's just because you had a baby.
10 years for 10 years.
Yeah, a child with somebody doesn't
5
mean that you're
years.
supposed to marry them. So, what did you say?
These guys are hot mess.
He's shooting his. Don't mind them.
What kind of sideline game was going
Charles
on
is over here being Charles, but you know what?
Yeah,
I'm
it's
glad
crazy.
you're here, and it ain't got nothing to do with me today. So let's slow this down
one of
for
those. Yeah, let's bring it full.
Let's slow
full
this down
circle.
for a little bit, because this was your topic, unfortunately.
Unfortunately, but
Yeah.
it's definitely
it's definitely a situation because we do see women proposing more, and so
it is becoming a thing.
So, what do we know is that most people do what they see, and then what most of what we see and what we do is based off of our ideology or what's ideal, right? So it's the white picket fence, the horse, you know what I'm saying? The dream scenario, from the time that you're a kid, it's, court,
all that.
Be boyfriend, girlfriend. He brings a flower. Oh, I'm doing it again.
What they say, A, B, C, D, but it's like, no, we jumped to D, A, B, and we're going back.
But regardless of that,
right?
There's a format and a plan.
Right.
And especially, we know how much women love formats and plans. Okay? And so, especially
you got my back.
Especially when it comes to their life, like, this is how I want it.
Women tend to be a little more calculated.
Now, anything less than that, right, becomes not sufficient enough. And now, as you put it, has somehow, because of your plan and how you want it, he's less than a man, or he's not man enough for me if you propose to him, which has nothing to do with anything. So I'm going to introduce a word, right? Semantics, okay? Which, in other words, it's just technicality. You know what I'm saying? As he alluded to, how you get there doesn't matter. So let's bring in some context.
To some, yeah.
So, right.
Hey, Deidre, if you... no, I'm not going to throw us off our whole...
No, go ahead. No, this is good.
So, bringing in the context, right?
Yeah.
I was reading about I was reading about I can't think right now. Once her name was Danny or Danielle. I posted whatever it was on my Instagram that I posted. Right, she was a polygamist. Right, she did not like marriage. Right, and her idea of it was just confine rules, things that I don't agree or believe in. Blase, blase, blase. She has a best friend or a good friend or whatever. He's hardcore in monogamy, and they were just friends. Long story short, they ended up hanging around each other to the point to where she liked him so much, she said, "Screw polygamy. I only want you." He knew that she was against the idea of marriage. He knew that she was against the idea of him proposing. So what she did was she proposed to him because she knew that, he would never actually get to that point. Not that he didn't believe in it, but because of he already knew her ideas, she did it. All right. The moral of the story was how their relationship navigated to and through. I asked this question to I was engineering this morning at church, and my co-engineer is a woman, young lady. So I said, if a man provided your every need, fulfilled your every desire, you're traveling, you're going, money's not an option, you're secure, you have the house, the white picket fence. His only thing was he would not get down on one knee and ask you. He would marry you if you asked him. He would marry you if you asked him. But he doesn't believe in asking the actual question. If you say, let's go elope, he's ready to go right now. Would you do it? And her answer was,
that's very interesting.
No. She said, hell no, because he's not the man for me. Right? I said, oh, really? So let's go back through A-B. Let's go back through the alphabet before you get to Z.
So let me ask the question. So you said he was ready to do all that, but it was just that he didn't want to verbally say.
His only deal breaker was that he wouldn't ask.
He wouldn't ask.
You know what I'm saying? Not that he wasn't ready.
Yeah.
But
it's very interesting.
Wouldn't ask. You know what I'm saying? A lot of these things go one way, and you'll learn this over time. If you haven't already figured this out, right? You meet a woman, you chasing her. You cool with it because what you know, you talk, right? You chase her, you like her, you spend your time, you spend your money.
Yeah,
right?
Unfortunately, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Energy.
Now, and energy. Now, either she, and we'll take the worst case. We'll take the worst case before we get to the best case. Either she cheats on you and leaves. So now you've done a lot.
That has happened.
Spent a lot of resources. And it's like, dang.
Come on, Tommy, don't lose hope yet.
We're
so far in the game. Don't do it.
Spent a lot of resources.
Yeah.
Or she never liked you at all. And because you were and would do something,
she kept you
took
along.
It,
yeah.
right? So let's take sex for an example. A lot of times, we're the one perusing and searching around for sex. Right. We're the aggressors, right? We're trying to go and get it.
Right.
How often do you ever know whether she really wanted you like that, or she just gave in to you and did it? Which, not to say that it doesn't happen or they don't.
Right. But I'm going to be honest with everybody here. I honestly found out, it took me till after the relationship to find out that our sex wasn't that good.
Oh, yeah, that's a whole other story.
That's a whole other thing. Let's stick to that.
That's a whole other story.
The breakdown in context.
That's...
Or, like I said, you're putting that energy out there.
No, what I'm saying is, like she was just doing it for me. Like, she didn't want it.
Right. So,
allegedly.
Right, that part. So now...
Don't ever take nothing your
I look back on things right now, and you look back on body language.
Trust me when I tell you, your ex is not going to recount things.
Right.
So now we get into the actual part of marriage, right? It becomes legal. If you split, you have to, even though you could be the better parent, you have to prove that she ain't worth the plum nickel to get it. 9 times out of 10, alimony is going to go against you. 9 times out of 10, child support is going to go against you.
Right.
So in this case and scenario, because I do actually know a gentleman like this, his thing was, this is so concrete and so many things go against me. The only thing I ask is that you ask me. You won't have a worry in the world. The only thing I ask is that...
Because he wants that security.
So, yeah, and not only that, is it an ego thing? I don't... Because if this woman is here for you, riding with you, y'all ride or dies, and you're saying,
answer your question. Look... Answer your own question.
That is very interesting.
I can't wait to propose.
Answer your own question. No,
and
it's a beautiful thing. But answer your own question. Is it an ego thing?
Is it an ego thing?
For you, because
for me, it's not an ego thing.
Because you're saying, is it an ego thing that he won't propose? But it's probably your very ego that's not allowing you to propose. Because at the end of the day, the bottom line, if we're talking about bottom line, is you have everything you desire, a man you love, without a need or care in the world. What's something so minuscule as asking a question for somewhere you know you want to be?
See, that goes back again.
Then
it's both sides.
Right. It goes
back to it.
It goes back to
and
something
again,
that you were.
And like you said, taught, and it comes back down to what is your core values about this thing. So it comes back down to, okay, if I'm courting you, what is our core values of what we want in life, and how is marriage going to fit into our world? Do you know what I'm saying?
And so we bring back the word semantics.
And the grounding of it. So for me, it's my faith. So if somebody's faith isn't aligned, if I just say if we're not aligned even in faith in so many ways, it plays that for me. Yeah, for different situations, I would say for a lot of women, that may be a factor versus some women that it's not.
But even in even in this scenario,
I'm sorry, what you about to say?
In the faith aspect, I do want to say, I just want to ask, should I say, when they say a man, so if a man finds a wife, he finds a good thing, but who's to say that he has to propose though?
But
I'm saying
because it's a tradition.
It's a tradition.
But that's where I'm getting to.
Yeah, but just so I'm just saying, my question is, how does you said faith and you quoted that verse?
Yes.
So I'm just wondering. Technically, it says that he found you, so you guys established a relationship,
right?
But it didn't say he proposed to.
Had to propose.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay. If we want to really bring out Bible,
yeah, that's
like when it goes
so
even to the point where it's just like, not that he forsakes his mother, but he left everything to build. It's almost like the exchange when you're going down the aisle. Like the whole thing of how that's constituted is, my father is walking with me. God forbid, he's there with me.
Right.
It's almost like the passing of the torch. You're passing me off to a man that's going to cover me now. You know what I mean? It's not my father that's going to cover me, financially, this and that, growing up as, if you had a father in the household or whatever, so it's like, even that is a sacred walk that I'm passing my daughter off to this man that's going to provide, to care for her, to cover her. And of course, that woman if she's a really woman that's really about her business, she's going to take care of that man. She's going to be his backbone. They're going to be, for each other. It's like, if you find a real one, you know what I mean? It's that man shouldn't have to want for anything either. You know what I mean? It's okay. We get to you, but I was just trying to get to the point that what he was saying. So I think it's like, it's a lot of things in that, you know what I mean? Like you said, it comes, a traditional thing is a sacred, when it comes to your faith. What does that mean? Some people are just like, forgetting wedding, we're just going to go love. We're going to the courthouse. Why do we need all that? You know what I mean? Sometimes it isn't faith.
And I think, shoot. Look,
but that's a whole other thing. That wasn't even a topic. But, it's a lot.
But to that point, your faith.
Yeah.
And because actually everything that was outlined.
Right.
Was to paint the picture of your faith in line, to be outlined. That this man who assumed during marriage, who was already before marriage, is taking care of you. So that your father is comfortable and he can see the proofs in the pudding. It's safe to pass my daughter off to this man. The only thing is, he just wouldn't act. So what does him asking have to do with him taking care of you? Because he's already taken care of you. He's already shown that he can, will, and expressed that he will spend the rest of his life with you. So he's acknowledged that he aligns with your faith.
But it doesn't. I feel like if that's the case, then what is that one thing going to stop you from hopping over? Like, it just doesn't make sense. You're at the edge. Why not go over the threshold?
And he's asking you to take him there.
All right.
So that is very interesting. No, I'm not opposed to it. I'm just trying to understand it. Like,
for me personally,
it's very interesting.
Me and my personal relationship, I'm married. I asked my wife to marry me. I went through a whole process of saving money when I didn't really have money, of getting a ring and going ring shopping, the whole thing. Proposed to her on her birthday. And,
because you desired to, that you really wanted to. Would you have waited for Ari to propose to you?
No, I don't think that. But so here's what I'm trying to say is that, so I personally was like, so I did I felt like I felt like we were going to get married. I felt pretty good about asking her. I didn't feel like she was going to, like say no or whatever.
Yeah.
We always hope that.
You know, you better hope like,
Yeah, but
woo.
you know,
It get hot down there.
Jackie, what you think?
but to me, I was thinking that I was just saying that I was I was under the impression that if she didn't say yes in this moment, that I was gonna be like, hey, next time you're gonna have to ask me, or you're gonna have to come all the way, because I basically went like a dude to propose. You know how humbling it is, or how exposed. It's like you're literally going like 95%, and then all the other person has to do is basically kind of do like the exception. You know what I'm saying?
Real funny thing, Charles, about proposing. So in this proposal, she talks about when she finally asks the question, and she says it's only a few seconds. Okay, she says it's only a few seconds, but it is the longest few seconds ever. Like, all you need to do is just hurry up and say yeah. But you know, so because I've proposed twice. It's a long, like, Jesus, say something.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Detroit, so you've been withholding all of this? Just kidding. Wait a minute.
My wife accepted my proposal, and she also doesn't see, you know, I feel like who knows what I would have done, you know what I'm saying? Because I would have felt like, I almost feel like if you say no at the point that we were, then it's kind of like, all right, what are we doing? And then it's a whole new conversation, like, all right, well, let's, maybe we should break up. I don't know. You know what I'm saying?
That's a lot. But
it's
like if you put in the work and you come that far.
But it is a big.
Wow. Like you said, it's still a gamble to the end.
It is a big kind of like ultimate. And then you say you're not ready, but then you kind of be like, oh, well, when are you going to be ready? Because we're like damn near like basically life partners. You know what I'm saying? So, you know what I'm saying? So it would just be like a weird. It almost be like a weird no, meaning like you ain't trying to really be with me, no. You get what I'm saying? And so then it's like, so then it's just one of those things where I'm like, all right, well, you got some stuff you need to work out. Right. You get what I'm saying? Like I said, I made my declaration. Right. I made financial arrangements to be able to even get the ring in the first place, just to show you how dedicated I am. And now you're saying no, so that means you need to work out what it is and then come back with your new answer. You get what I'm saying? If there is a new answer. Right. So that's my perspective. So
that's a good, and one thing I thought about, and this is just me just going back, you know, playing the advocate, but it was just interesting to me when I looked at these videos, and I was just like, okay, so she's proposing to him, okay, cool, but where your ring at, sis? You know what I mean? That just in my head, like, hold up. And I'm thinking to myself, like, was that guy caught off guard? Like, now she proposes to me, so dang, I ain't even got a house. I'm staying with her. Like, you just don't know, and it's just kind of like
a good chance he might be staying with her.
I'm just throwing it out there. You never know.
I'll tell you,
you never know.
But for a guy,
and the tie bone.
Yeah, we got to circle. Hey, but let's get to the final thoughts on it, because I know we could go on and on about this.
So
we started a little late, just so y'all know.
So the tie bone is like it's the same. It doesn't really matter. And usually I end this thing with a poem, but I'm not. I'm usually more so with a thought for what women are setting themselves up for. You guys fight for feminism so much. You know what I'm saying? The power to be whatever it is you want to be, do whatever you want to do, especially within the working relationship, dealing with a man. You know what I'm saying? You work now. You have casual sex. You know what I'm saying? You wear what you want to wear. So what I'm saying is,
when they start doing that,
I honestly agree with you. I agree with them as far as, okay, from my perspective, I am a feminist, so I do agree with what you're saying, Detroit, as far as women. If like you said that you wouldn't say no if a woman asked you to marry her, and that's kind of sad. Like,
I would say no.
Wow.
That's because I feel like your mentality is, one, you're still young and you're still closed off. But we as women have fought so much to be where we are right now. We couldn't vote. Like maybe like, I don't know, like 50 years ago, we couldn't vote.
I'm all for that.
So,
what I'm telling you is,
but at the same time, it's like
dynamic. It isn't. Right.
It's. I understand what you're saying as far as the tradition, as far as your dad's giving you away to your husband, your future husband, and you know, in the Mexican culture we have quinceañeras, and back in the day, but you guys have to understand the meaning behind that, the old tradition of the meaning behind that. When a woman, she's becoming a woman, so she's ready to get married. that it's kind of like their parents are introducing her to the world. Like, here you go, time to get married. It's like and it's like I hated that meaning. Wow. So I literally, like, for my nieces, I turned that meaning around. I'm like, you're becoming a woman, but you're becoming your own person. You're at an age where you're starting to understand things. You're not a full adult. So like I had to change that. But like, I don't like the idea of like you belong to a man. I'm sorry, for me it's not like that. For me it's a partnership. I think
that's a whole nother dynamic.
I think that social media plays a big part right now on why women are saying that whole like, no, if he does not ask me, I'm not marrying him. That's why social media is a big thing, because social media is doing like the whole proposals thing, and they're doing like the whole videos of like how you asked to marry you.
That's
so like everybody's trying to like everybody's trying to top each other with these new videos. Like, if you really care about this person, it's really just about you two, then you don't have to post it. You don't have to share with the world. Make it just private. And I think that a lot of men might say no because they might feel emasculated.
And I can see that.
And you're taking and it's like, no, you're not getting emasculated. It's just like, if we're partners, if we're in love, this is going to be a partnership. We're going to make it work. So we're going to talk about marriage or getting married before we even get to that. Like, before you had to propose, I feel like you guys have had at least a discussion of your future with each other. So it's like you have an idea that you want to marry each other.
Exactly. And you're either bucking tradition or you're not. You know what I'm saying? You're either independent, working, going to get your money, doing what you, and you believe in feminism in its entirety, or you're not, or you don't. You can't say
you can't pick and choose.
And then say, but I don't.
And certain, it's just like you could believe what you want to believe. Like, that's everybody.
You guys have a blended mind, but for most men, it's either this or that. So I'm either taking care of you in its entirety, and maybe you're not working on you chilling and you playing that role, or you are your independent woman or whatever, and that's how the majority will come, and you don't mind if you propose, then you propose.
Yeah. But it's also you have to find what you want, and if that's what you're looking for, then you have to find the right partner for that.
Right.
I think, like I said, to each his own.
There's a lot.
Yes.
You know what I mean, and how they want to paint that.
Those proposals you see online or on the gram, you don't know what happened behind the scenes,
right?
And what kind of, like I said in the beginning, you don't know what that woman just said to that man to get him to act right.
But to me, with those proposals, it ain't no different from buying the biggest ring to show off. That's what people are doing. You're just doing that to show it off.
Right.
So whoever asks who, it don't matter.
And then giving them that ultimatum is, in a way, like you were saying, I think, Charles, is like that is a way that you are asking to get married. Yeah, you are doing it. You're just not getting on one knee and getting the box with the ring in it. Absolutely. But at the same time, it's like, you're either marrying me within the next 6 months or I'm out. That's kind of you asking to marry them.
That's exactly what it is.
So it's, you know what I mean? Unless you're having a discussion like, where do you see our future?
It's a question.
But like, I just want that romantic where I'm doing it. We got tell my great grandkids like this is how I did it.
But see, it's like you're telling you this is your story,
and this is the wedding's your moment. The proposal is my moment.
You got me friends.
Okay.
The proposal is my moment. The wedding's my moment.
Yeah.
Okay. The partnership and marriage is my moment. Like to that other stuff is not important to me. I could care less how it happens. Right. But I would want to have like a partner with me that like definitely is on every level with me and everything as far as finance, family, culture, sex, like all of it. Like I want it to align.
Of course. That's what it comes back.
I know, but I'm okay with doing like compromising and like, you know, like I get it. I'm not
compromise.
But no, like you have to give and take a little bit. It's not, you're not going to find the exact person like that. Right. But I mean, I would like that. Someone that's closest to what partners and aligns with me.
Right.
Yeah. And I would just say that.
I was going to say final thought.
Yeah, my final thought. I'm not going to say anything else. Just keep in mind, the marriage proposal is one day.
Yeah.
The wedding is also just one day.
Yep.
So, and people don't like to hear that, or they don't like to really wrap their head around that. So it's literally one day. A marriage is really like a partnership, what you were saying, a partnership for life. You're literally saying, all right, this is a life commitment, life partnership. And, you know, a lot of hoopla, a lot of stuff gets caught up into like, it's just one day, it's one moment. That's the wedding. We were watching our wedding video yesterday. That's how I remember that you was in the wedding. You was turned up at the reception. But it's literally just one day. So it's as great as a day is going to be, as whatever the day is going to be, is one day. So at the end of the day, how you get to the point, you guys are life partners. My grandparents had amazing lives and had 10 houses when they passed, and you know what I'm saying, they had a lot of stuff, and they built a life together for 35 years, and they got married at a courthouse. Wow. You know what I'm saying? It's not like you get caught up in like, all right, how do we do it? Where do we do it? How big was the ring? All this stuff. You guys could build together. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's all I would say.
Okay.
Tommy.
One word. Just thinking about love, legacy, all that. What would it be? Marriage. What would be one word you could think of that would just like stick with you?
Hyphenated word. Working partners.
Commitment. That's it.
All I need is love.
That was a sentence.
Yeah.
All I need is love.
It sound like an LL line.
I need
That's
love.
all I
Which is
want.
abstract.
If you love me, I'll do anything for you. That's all I
Yeah,
want.
I would say partnership.
Partnership.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
love.
important.
I think it's all the above. Like just building like that freedom of love, legacy with no limits. You know. I know. I had to throw it out there. Well, I'm just saying, I
All
just
of the
strung it
above.
all
She
along.
put letter D all over
I had to do a whole lyric. I had to do a whole verse.
Well, that's our time,
whole
people.
verse,
And,
yes.
it's been a beautiful thing. Is it okay? There's nothing wrong with it. Do you?
Yeah.
However that goes. All right. Lovely topic again. R.I.P. Nip. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
From DG.
R.I.P.
Jackie. You know what I'm saying? The boy Tommy
Black
T.
Lives Matter, man.
Hustle Man.
Yeah.
Even to
Dontrell,
ourselves.
Detroit. Nip, we miss you. All right.
Yeah.
You're going to be respected and gone. Love forever. We out of here.
Thank you for having me, guys.
Peace.
Thank you.
That was perfect for us. We know you always crash and burn, but it was working for us. Lemon tint to V12, double check the details. Gotta cross my T's and dot my I's or I can't sleep well. Millions off of retail. Once again, I prevail. Knew that shit was over from the day I dropped my preset.